Hey there, everybody. How's it going? Let's see. We're gonna stream today. Just a heads up, I have severe stomach pain. Um, and so the stream may stop early, but also it might not. It's not like not working will make my stomach feel better. So just a heads up. Things might only go for so long, but we'll go as long as we can. We'll fight on. This is my anime moment, just when all the chips are down, I believe in my friends and find the power to go through. Okay, so here's Superhero Life 2. Okay. How's y'all's day been? You going all right? Yeah, I believe we were last working on the park. How y'all doing? Let's see. Thank you, B-Man. Hello, Tikayo. Okay, all the materials are almost loaded in. Let's see. Yeah, so we are going to um, do a bit of okay. So let's get the tree asset. Okay, so I guess because we have this part done. All right. So what should we do? Should we hop to kill time? Hey, nice. I hope you enjoyed. Um, let's see the okay. So we have that set up more or less. I feel like we gotta put something around here. Like it just feels it's very empty right now. So we're gonna have to do something. I guess let's start by just adding a few trees. The but before we do that, actually, let's should add a bench slash picnic table. Yeah, I'm definitely open to having like some things here. I guess the question is, what should we do in this initial pass, and what should we do when we return? Like what should we do for the initial map? And what should we do for the version the more polished final version? Okay, so let's see. So scripts. So scripts, workspace, source map, Dutch, file util run, roho serve. All right, nice, nice. Okay, so I think you know what I want to do? I'm going to start by just getting some of the trying to figure out what's the nicest way to because I'm guessing we should have this like a path from here lead to here, right? Because there's a little bit of an opening. Let's see how much that messes things up. Okay, so let's let's see, how much, so I can move that over there. Okay, so, yep, hey there's Squid Stick. Let's see, so right now we are loading all that in. Okay, we are going to, okay, so we're going to add this in. Okay, actually let's rearrange these. That look good? Okay, so we can move this one over a little bit closer to here. Then we can move this one here. Hmm. Should it be kind of diagonal? Because I feel like it's fine. It's fine. Okay, we will we'll find the right way to do this. So okay, so let's start by just eroding away the view terrain editor, edit. Okay, so we're gonna do some erosion. Oh, actually, first let's replace all the grass with uh, leafy grass. Just to get that a little bit more consistent. And then now let's replace the leafy grass with ground, just to prepare for digging into it. Now let's replace the rock, the ground, I guess the rock with ground as well. One of these is rock. Salt, rock. There we go. All right. Yay. Okay, so now that we have that, let us sculpt. Okay, so okay, so it's right there. Let's also, while we're at it, how how wide is it? Okay, so maybe we should start by just okay, that seems close enough. So now, CJ, will you ever make a dev team? Maybe. I don't know. I'm fine with working with other people. I'm just very picky. And also they cost a lot of money, and I prefer to keep the operation kind of lean. I think that's benefited me a lot. Um, so, but yeah, but I mean, obviously, that would mean getting things done faster, which I'm not against. despite what it may seem like sometimes. Um, I'm curious what PvP feature will be like all Battlegrounds games. On what Rookstead just saying. Um, I don't think it'll be just that because there will be more things to do than just fight each other. And I don't even know if I'm going to have level scaling. I think there will be, sort of a battle. There's always going to be a battle going on somewhere, but I don't think that that's necessarily going to be the only thing in the game. And if it does end up feeling like that, then we can find ways to incentivize people to not just kill each other on the team. I think spawning in the prison isn't a bad idea for criminals. Um, like just add a little bit of a delay for people to re-enter the battle so that there's actually a bit of a punishment for people who are just fighting all the time. Okay, removed a little bit too much stair. Okay, yeah, we are currently carving these stairs out. How did grass get down there? Goodness. Um, when you get money, maybe. I don't know. The thing is, like, I really don't like increasing my expenses. I'm fine like hiring a contract or something, but I don't want a team. Like a team is just that's monthly paychecks, and I don't like the pressure that adds to the studio. Because here, okay, y'all want games to come out faster, but do you want them to be monetized more? Like that's the thing. When you hire a dev team, you do get things faster, but you also have to earn more money from the things you do. And I don't think everyone necessarily wants these games to be over monetized. And I don't know. I personally, I I don't feel a huge drive to build up some massive team that requires a huge operating budget. It just feels like not the right move to make. The first TSB is up to 48 bits. I don't fully understand what that means, but yeah, yeah, I think there's definitely smaller teams have more personality, I'd say, because I think there's sort of a destructive element to like, you know, if you play every song on your MP3 player, or I'm old, sorry, on your phone or Spotify at once, it'll just sound like destructive noise. Like it won't sound like any particular song. It'll just be like a loud noise. And I think that exists for game development as well to an extent. Oof. Yeah, no, and also that one wasn't even really a team. That was just me contracting. Like nobody on that team was making decisions that I wasn't like telling them to make. So I'm not sure that I would say that that is the reason teams shouldn't exist. It's more the reason I am not always the best at game development. Let's see. How do I? Yeah, and also, yeah, I guess from a financial perspective, Superhero Life 3 did fine. Like, it wasn't as good as Superhero Life 2, but, people still played it. Obviously, I think we can do a lot better. I think I did do better with Superhero Life 2 in many ways in terms of design, though I do maintain that Superhero Life 3 was a superior game in terms of actual build quality. Um, but yeah, like, I think that for the most part, the the main, I guess, what would you call it? I think that Superhero Life 3 has, yeah. Oh, yo, No, please, please, I don't want anyone to work for free. Anyone who works on a game should be well compensated for it. You know, I think that game development is hard, and that the people who do it should always be paid well. Um, Might be a bit biased though. Okay, let's see. I think that's pretty much as far as I want to go in that direction. Okay, so right now we are building a staircase. I let me So I'm just going to increase. I'm going to use a plugin instead. Uh, Resize align, extend, extend up to. Best of luck on your game, Joy. Mm. Oh yeah, Superhero Life 3. Well, the setting is in the future, but I do think Superhero Life 3 is a much more professionally produced game in terms of, like, the fact that the UI looks themed, or the usage of meshes for things, not just building stuff out of parts. Like, I think as a game, it does a better job communicating quality. Okay, which part? Perfect. All right, just sidewalk wall. Let's see. Um, I'm not necessarily opposed to making Superhero Life 2, Superhero Life 3 city. Well, I don't know. I don't think it fit the lore, but I like the general idea, that of having them be the same city. I just think that it's a lot easier to I just think it's a lot easier to get a what's the phrase? Why is it not snapping to this? That's frustrating. Which parts are just weird? Okay, so let's just do resize align. Uh, Resize align, extend up one, extend up two, extend up. What the heck? No, I'm gonna lose my mind. Is there just like no way that I can resize this stupid thing? Ah. hmm Yeah, I think the Superhero Life 3 city should always be the bigger one. I think that it should mess around more with the idea of there we go. I think it should mess around more with the idea of it being a sort of, I guess, Like that should be the one where vehicles make the most sense. I think that Super Hero Life 3 should have like should just be a bigger game. I think that's where I can experiment with like a larger game and like what that actually means for the gameplay. Because I agree that Super Hero Life 2 did better on a design level, but I still want to use these games for their original purpose. And for better or for worse, Super Hero Life 3 is very heavily inspired by Jailbreak, and that's not necessarily going away. So like I think that that game to be authentic to itself should continue to be inspired by that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's go. So let's flatten this. Where'd the terrain go? There it is. Okay, so flatten. What is? Where's my? Okay, it was just too big. I was like, where'd the brush go? Um, okay, so how about? Let's see how. So we're going to take leafy grass and convert it into pavement. Okay, so how about 18? Why is that so much bigger than last time? 9 maybe? 6? Okay. Uh, hey there. Seems we're being rated by some very talented developers. Um, Nick and Will. These two very talented people worked on Fortnite and are currently doing some cool things at Omni Creator Products. And also they're very chill. Um, let's see. Yeah, today creating uh, we're creating a park. Yeah, y'all want to see something cool? I got bored of decorating all these shops, and so I wrote a very basic procedural generation thing. And so now it generates them for me, saving me time and sanity. Also serves as a good foundation for level of detail stuff later on. But yeah, woo. But now back to the park. The Yeah, so now we're sculpting some terrain, trying to make this sort of be trying to line up this part. Let's see. And all I'm assuming right now is that Nick's looking at this and being like, Unreal Engine does it easier. Let's see. The right now. Let's see. So let's get a square. Yep. No, I have a ab. It's an abstract. It's an aesthetic, a style choice. Yeah. All of my art looks like it's made by Picasso in the sense that it doesn't look like what even I expected it to look like. Um, you know, it's not that I'm a very limited artist. It's that all of my art just is low poly, and the more polys I add, the worse it looks. It's just, Mhm. Okay, so how is it dropping, or is the stair just too high? Okay, the stairs are just too high. So there are some plugins which do support more like dynamic material stuff, but for the most part, it's very much like you're working like with a block of clay. Well, the thing is, the ground has to be level with the rest of the park and city, so I more need to get the stairs to be that height. That looks okay. So now then we gotta raise this part. Can we have the superhero life lore? No, I can't. I'm not just gonna dump it in like a wiki or something. I gotta make the game, and then y'all can play it and discover lore that way. Also, the lore doesn't really exist. It exists as a few scribbles and notes I've made over the years. I don't want to like say a thing and then have it be then realize, oh, I actually meant to do something else. Um, but yeah, yeah, that's just a theory, a game theory. I heard that guy retired. I'm not sure what surprises me more, the idea of him retiring after this long, or like the fact he made it this long without retiring. Like it just. I think didn't Tom Scott do that as well? Hmm. Hey there, Eric. Could you show the map a little? Yeah, sure thing. So right now we're doing a very low poly um, pass over everything, just making because we just want to get this is like a step above gray boxing. Gray boxing would have been literally just when it was just these boxes, but not the final product. So if any of these assets don't look super good, don't worry. I'm going to be remaking a lot of the stuff when I add the interiors and such. But yeah, so okay, let me adding and then so we replaced the mall with a pier just to keep things more outside and just also I don't know. I feel like a giant indoor mall wouldn't necessarily fit this super well. Welcome back, Wolf. Yeah, and so yeah, we have some houses here. Sorry, this is the school, and we have these are the evil laboratory buildings, inspired a little bit by. Thank you, Wolf. I appreciate it. And this is sort of a center news tower kind of thing, a bit inspired by the CNN tower. Our main goal is to make it not the Space Needle. We're 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 not exactly succeeding right now. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, this is like the Harry Potter school, like the kids like sleep over in it, one of those things. Yeah, and this is the metal refinery. Uh, this is the harbor docks area, and then we have the pier. And now we're working on the park to connect it all. And yeah, our main goal is to. So this is the original for anyone unfamiliar with it. So this is the original map. Um, we're trying to basically take this idea and implementation and create it, a more modern, cleaned up version of it with a little bit more room to do things. Uh, let's see. See, will the apartments and base customization be back? Yep, definitely. Yeah, no, in fact, base customization is going to be the main area for monetization. We're going to be trying to step back a little bit from something like game passes because, for one, from a business perspective, you don't necessarily want to make it like a one-off purchase. If someone plays your game every day and wants to get more out of it and has some money to spare, I think it's a win for everyone to have something available to buy. But at the same time, you don't necessarily just want to have things to buy that aren't worth buying. So we're going to try to do the base customization very well and make it very compelling. But at the same time, we're going to try to keep character customization as open and free as possible because, you know, it that is the core of the game, and I really think that that's Superhero Life 3 taught me that you need to have the character customization be as flexible as possible, so that people can really immerse their selves and create that sort of digital identity. But yeah, base customization will definitely be there. And we might have multiple apartment buildings long term. I just know that for now, this is the official slot for the apartment building. Um, but yeah, I think it's starting to shape into a pretty nice city. I really like the dock, like industrial area. I think that's coming together pretty well. Um, yeah, will the construction site stay? Yep, this is the construction site. I because I put it here because in the original one, it had some pretty odd zoning. Like you'd have a huge metal refinery and prison right next to a park and like a harbor. And so my thinking is people going to a park should have there should be like human things near this. And so as a result, I moved things around to make a little bit more human stuff here. And the construction building I use as kind of a transition between an industrial zone and a human zone because if you see a construction site from the metal refinery, that doesn't necessarily look out of place. And if you see a construction site from like a human people area, that also doesn't look out of place. And so I think that it kind of blends things together pretty well. This will be the town hall. This will be the little prison area. I'm already telling y'all, there's gonna be an underground tunnel between these two. Yeah, the yeah lab, yeah prison to lab pipeline confirmed. I mean, it is a superhero game, you know? Like, if you aren't doing unethical science experiments on your prisoners to give them superpowers, why even have an evil science corporation, you know? Um, but yeah, I think it's coming through pretty well. The All right, no, thank you for stopping by the gaming zone. Enjoy your food. The funnel should look like a sewer. People have been asking me to add sewers for a long time, and I want to, but at the same time, I want it to be like an actual location. You know, I don't want to add too many empty areas if I can avoid it. I think sometimes some areas it's unavoidable. Like we can't make every single one of these buildings have something cool in it. You know, we can't put something cool in every one of these crates. But these are also more just once-off like areas with a lot of room to breathe and just sort of stitches the city together. Because okay, let's do it this way. If right now, if you were to look out the window in one of these buildings and there wasn't any of this stuff here, it would look a bit odd. You would just be like, oh, there's nothing in this city. And so to some extent, you need some publicly visible sort of meaningless structures to give purpose to the view of things. And in the original game, that was done partially by these warehouses that you couldn't enter, a lot of trees that don't really have much usage, of making the buildings a little bit bigger than they needed to be to block out view lines, so you don't immediately realize how small the island is. Um, and yeah, I think that that's all we're doing here. And the problem is with a sewer is that a sewer is basically never going to obscure anyone's view because it's underground. And so it becomes just hidden value, I guess. And that's okay, but we have to make sure there's value there. It's going to be holding itself up just on the value added by having a sewer system. And so, yeah, we're gonna add that kind of stuff. There should be a hidden supervillain base between the prison and the lab. Well, I'm thinking the supervillain base. Oh, remember, we want users to make their own bases for the most part. Mhm. And I want people to be able to invite them over. Like if you want to create like a super evil villain league, I want that to be doable. Um, yeah, so Superhero Life 2 is an island because it's a city of like super powered people. Like they basically made this city as a place for people with superpowers to not, you know, to to not necessarily hurt other people. Um, Now, there's that being said, there's definitely an element of sinisterness to it. You could argue some of the people who made the island happen did it with good intentions, but at the end of the day, there is a giant evil corporation and prison on it. Like this isn't just a utopia. This is it's a city, and we have to rationalize the fact that 90% of the population has superpowers. And which block is the hospital? The hospital will be this block back here. Hmm. Yeah, the hospital and school being next to each other, I think just kind of works because they're both pretty like you don't want a kid to be in a hospital, of course, but you want to have a hospital available whenever a kid needs one, So I feel like most people are fine with having a hospital near them. Um, Speaking of bases, will they change in terms of layout? Yes. For the most part, we'll have some. What's it called? We'll have some backwards compatible base layouts, but for the most part, the main goal will be to allow for a much more flexible system. Um, let's see, which block will is the apartments? The apartments is this block right here. Let's see. Let's see. So yeah, now let's flatten out this terrain. View terrain, terrain editor. Okay, how do I get this? It's a headache. Okay, we're going to do this in a very direct way. Okay, dang it. There we go. Okay, this is looking all right. Okay, so fill. Um, okay, so we're going to fill this with dirt, everybody's favorite material. Yay! Okay, that's too high. Yay! Dirt! Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll just do a little bit of eroding here, but for the most part, now we should be able to. Why is it? Where's the little highlight thing? Oh, it's because it doesn't work on, it has to be targeting dirt. Uh, okay, let's change that to a 5, change that to a 4, 1. How, okay, I'm just gonna paint grass. I think I might have broken the terrain editor. It's really not, it's really struggling right now. But why is there just a little bump right here, you know? Kind of annoying. Is it because of the change in material? Let me see if this will fix that. Okay, it does a little bit. So let's change that. Okay, yay, nailed it. And so now let's just join. Welcome, Green Combo. Um, Eric asks, will the apartment buildings will be purchased both in Indian currency or all for free? I think that everyone should have an apartment. I don't know if I don't think I'll have them all be free. Ideally, you'd be able to upgrade your apartment to like nicer ones, you know? But yeah, the what if players could place doors that teleport people into the secret bases they make? I'm not opposed to people being able to configure and such the being able to configure the. All right, losing my train of thought. I'm tired today. Um, I think people should be able to configure the interiors, do some customization, and not just for the base area. But the problem is I don't want to commit to that until I have like a definite, until I definitely have time for it. So probably the earliest ones will be a more, yeah, well, they'll be more on the, why isn't that part coloring it? Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Um, and so yeah, that might and probably will happen, but just not necessarily soon. Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna have to do the. Look, we were so close. Look at that. Um, I just move this back a little bit. Is that? That looks ugly. Okay, no, we'll fix this. Um, so view terrain editor. I really don't like working with terrain. I despise that. It is so boring to me. Um, okay, so fill. Come on. Is that fixed it? Yeah, that fixed it. Ah, it's all right, Wolf. The apartment block is this one right here. It's right next to the school. It's gonna be right next to the park, which I think makes sense because that's like, a very human thing. You'd be able to charge pretty good rent. for that. Yeah, so this is the, right, so I can happily say we have that. So let's do a little bit of adding the, okay, let's make it just a little bit, okay, auto material, okay, 2. Okay, so now subtract 0.1. Sorry, I'm going to be really annoying about these. This is why I don't like terrain, because actually getting it to like interface with parts in a way that doesn't look like garbage is such a headache. Like terrain on its own, that's one thing, but just getting it to not look like garbage for everything you make, that's such a headache. Um, rock, okay. Okay, so we have that. And now let's replace leafy grass with ground. Yay! Okay, let's make it a size 1. So let's let's add. Why is this one snapped so heavily, you know? Um, also, let's, looks like we have a little bit of. Isn't it crazy how the strip set was exists for 8 years and still is? Not at all. Have you ever heard of New York? Let's see. Is the pawn going to make a return? Probably yes, because I need something to fill that. Um, yeah, but no. When I lived in Manhattan, there was an apartment complex across from me that was being built. Um, it did not make any progress the entire year. Like I know, like it sounds like a joke. We saw people in it. We saw like there was a construction team on it like maybe once a month for like 3 days. That I almost said game. What happens when you make games? That building is not going to be done anytime soon. Um, you should put all your attention into superhero life too. I don't think everybody stands with me on this. Well, I mean, y'all might all want me to put my attention on superhero life too. The problem is superhero life 2 doesn't pay the bills anymore. So I hope, when I finish the remake, it does. But yeah, the most of my bills are paid right now by contract work, and you can't just ignore that. Unfortunately, as fun as that would be some days to just because I enjoy making this stuff. I'd say the most of my daily work. How much should I increase that? So it's just a little bit, but that isn't necessarily what I'm paid for. How does monetization work with Roblox games? Well, basically, it's all about converting Robux to dollars. For 1,000 Robux, I earn about, I think, what, $3.5 or something like that. Um, so for every 1,000 Robux earned, $3.5. Uh, for every 100,000 Robux, that's $350. And yeah, so you sell things in your game for Robux. And so yeah, okay, when you say focusing, you mean like on the remakes. Oh yeah, no, I am focusing only on Superhero Life 2 remake wise right now. Um, so yeah, no, that Superhero Life 2 is going to be brought to a fully playable state before Superhero Life 3 remake even starts. We're just yeah, we're just getting all that stuff sort of thrown together. Let's see. Thank you. I appreciate it. I like the buildings too. Yeah, we're gonna get all of this thrown together pretty quickly. And yeah, hopefully, I think the map does look like a more compelling version of the original. Like you can see the same ideas at work in it, just done better, I think, in this one. Um, oh yeah, I'm fine with Easter eggs. Yeah, I do exchange Robux for real money. It's called the developer exchange. Um, no worries, Joy. I appreciate you talking in the chat. That if I didn't want to talk to anyone, I wouldn't stream. Just a question. How far is Superhero Life 4? Take your time. The plans sound amazing. Yeah. I should just take that website down, unfortunately. The plans for Superhero Life 4 got out of scope so quickly. This is Superhero Life 4, what you're looking at. Like, this is the start of it. I'm going to build Superhero Life 4 from the code and systems I write from this game. It's just, by the time you've added time travel and space travel to your game, you have jumped the shark. Um, yeah, it's a very ambitious project, but really, I'm scoping way down on it. I tried for years to make the game that big, and it's too big. It's too big. I could not get it to work. That game would have had to have a massive budget. Um, I think time travel is a really cool mechanic. I would want to make that in like a game jam, like as a proof of concept smaller game, rather than something in a video game. Unfortunately, traveling through time in a multiplayer game is just very tough to do because obviously everyone is playing in the present. Like you can't have, and so you can record player movements and show them the past. You can do some predictive stuff to guess the future, but for the most part, the limitations of the presence exist in video games. Space travel is arguably much easier, except for the fact that you have to move very quickly in space, and I think that that can cause a bunch of headaches. Yeah, I do have that old stuff I did lying around. The problem is the code isn't very usable. Since then, I have. Okay, so Infrastruct was the first game I made where I think the code is reusable, and that game's only what only a year or two old, and it never even released. But it is technically playable. It just wasn't fun, and I didn't want to release it until it was fun. Um, but for the most part, like Infrastruct was the first game I made where I could imagine reusing the code. Not the UI code, but for the rest of the code, definitely. Well, hey, I I think the amazing part of private servers is that, you can find. the audience who fits your play style. But for that, I think we might need a larger audience. Uh, it sounds like your play style is a bit more an acquired taste. But no, we still want to support that. Um, assuming people are behaving. Let's see. This is looking okay. Okay, so this is the park. Okay, what else do we have? School. Where'd the where'd this end up? Oh, it's under prototypes. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we're gonna move that under here. We're just organizing and cleaning stuff up. Crazy how we're about halfway done with this prototyping phase. Well, yeah, you know, I'm glad that you have the other 30. I have that dream too, man. It's just, unfortunately for me, I have to do it when I'm awake. But yeah, no, I want to have private servers, and I think pets would be a very cool thing. People have been asking that for a long time. It's just something I've been hesitant to commit to because it's it's NPC pathfinding really. That in general is just always a headache for things, and like how they would assist you in a fight. And also, do you really want to make a game where someone can just punch your dog? Is that really want to make a dog punching simulator? That doesn't sound nice. And so, adding pets to a combat thing in Pokemon, a much more simple game where only the pets fight each other. Um, they kind of don't talk about it. But when you're in sort of a more realistic grounded world and you have a dog getting kicked by a supervillain, I don't know. It's just harder. Um, can when can we test the game, by the way? Pretty much, yeah. And Fallout isn't exactly an E for everyone game. Watching the TV show right now, though, I'm enjoying it. I've heard mixed responses from people, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only on the first episode though. Can we test? When can we test the game? When I finish the rough draft of the map and go through and add the mechanics. You know, basically, once I finish porting the functionality and have the rough draft of the map done, that's when I will make the game playable for people. Oh, okay. Let's let's see. Okay, so we have this thing here. Okay, so let's um oh, looks like my camera just failed briefly. Um okay, so it looks like transparency doesn't work. Okay, so sorry, overlay doesn't work. So we have to make these. Okay, I'm going to be annoying about this because I want this to okay, so let's just add let's add a tree. Okay, tree. Um, let's then sink it into the ground a bit. Okay, well let's see. How does the original map do it? I think if I recall correctly, yeah, there were trees lining up near the edges of the thing, so we can do that again. Fun fact: if you want a tree to look different, turn it. It's a really stupid fun fact. Um, but yeah, the for the most part, trees are so chaotic looking that people can't tell the difference between trees when they're rotated. Rocks too, to an extent. Yeah, well, they're villains. We can't trust them to be nice. For every person who's thinking like Power Rangers villain, there's a person who's thinking like I don't know, Garth Ennis villain. Is it Ennis? It's more fun if it's Enos. Um, let's see. That's the thing. Like you'll just read a word your entire life and then try to say it out loud. The most embarrassing one for me was when I got all the way to game dev school before I learned that melee is pronounced melee and not melee. Devastating. Dropped out the next day. I'm kidding. Um, okay, so let's move this back to the park. Okay. All right. So what's a I'm sorry, y'all. I can't do it. I really hate this texture. Okay. I am going to um re- I'm going to replace this at some point. Captain Cool Guy statue? Maybe. I don't know. I still haven't fully decided how I want Captain Cool Guy to be in the world. I think that people should like him for the most part, but I think, he is kind of he's a fully digital thing. I think that he's kind of like how you would imagine, Siri or Clippy or something, where people like him, but there's no statues of Clippy anywhere. Um, and then I think there's a bit of the irony, which has only become a little bit more realistic since ChatGPT, of Clippy turning evil and killing everyone. I think that's my my fears of AI have only become more relevant since releasing my games. Yeah. No, nobody says that they can't imagine it anymore. Okay. So, all right. So what's like a good thing? I guess should we add the river here or the lake here? I think that could be a pretty good use case. So I'm um just gonna save the thing. Added super here. Added path down path plus stairs. And okay, here we are. So now we're going to do some basic. Uh, also, here's a cool thing. Make your trees look better by adding a little bit of soil at their feet. Game dev hacks. Mm, leafy grass, ground. Come on, let me paint the stupid thing. Why does it feel like I'm going crazy? Grass. ground. Now paint. It's annoying. Okay, am I going crazy? Okay, no, that looks fine. So do it here. What is going on? Genuinely. Is it because there's like a thing blocking this? Why isn't it letting me do the stupid thing? Uh, ignore parts. Yes. Okay. Why is it adding it as a square? Fine, whatever. We are just not painting under the trees. They will just look bad. We'll accept that. Um, why did he become a big monster? Oh, because he tried to edit his own source code. So I think that's funny. So Joy, yeah, no, I'm glad to say I'm not alone, Green Combo. Thank you for joining me in the circus. Um, let's see. Me and my best friends are trying to make a Roblox game. Is there any things we have to do to get started? Not. I mean, like there are things you need to do to get started, but they're like, make a place, give people dev permissions. In terms of like a right way to do it, not really. Like at the end of the day, it's just about making something that's fun. There's like if you use free models, okay, but like my policy on free models is that if you use them, you shouldn't necessarily rely on them as the reason why people play your game. Like nobody's gonna play my game to look at the trees. They might come here to hang out in the park, but the trees specifically are not the reason they're coming. And that's just, I think how you arrange them, I think that can have value. But yeah, like just make something that feels good. Now, don't get me wrong. If I was to put an ugly tree here, um, that would be on me. That would make the game worse. So it's on you to sort of like navigate when a change is making the game better or worse. But for the most part, I don't think there's necessarily a right or a wrong way to do this. It's just make stuff. If it feels good, keep it. If it doesn't, change it. And yeah, I think that you don't need a whole bunch of skill or experience to do that. It just the thing that skill and experience adds is efficiency. You'll be able to do things that used to take you a very long time very quickly, and this will allow you to iterate more, and it'll allow you to make a better game faster. But if somebody had never made a video game before and was given 10 years to make a good video game, I've no doubt they could figure it out. Like they could make something fun in that amount of time. It, it's just um, it's just about the speed at which you can create something cool, which is why I'm thinking I can create Superhero Life 2 with 2 hours a day of work in only a couple of months rather than almost I think 7 or 8. So because I'm making a better version of the game faster because I'm more experienced. Yeah, where's the pineapple? Yeah, the I feel like the size of the park, people should recreate those Wolverine forest fights scenes. I think that yeah, having a forest fight would be quite nice. I think that we can save that for like something like these areas or something. For the most part, though, this part's probably going to be like a lake or something. We'll see. Um, no offense, but the monument looks kind of small. Two monuments. I mean, like, well, the thing is, the monument is small, but it's actually I think the thing is the base on this one boosts it up more. I'm not necessarily opposed to making a bigger monument. It's just we had a really cool idea with the river, I think. And so yeah, I mean, like, okay, let's see. Let's obelisk. Okay, let's see how big we can make it. Oh wait, I need to put the water in there. So that looks okay. Mm, okay. I the stones now look pretty big, and I don't know if I like that. I don't know, but the obelisk size looks better. You know, we will see. We will see. Um, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I mean, like, is this one big enough? I think this one's at least the monument itself is a bigger size right now. Um, okay, everyone seems to like it better this way, so that works for me. All right, so now we just need to paint over the. Okay, so replace. We're going to use the leafy grass and replace it with mud. Yay! Okay, there's genuinely something wrong with these terrain tools. I'm going to lose my mind. Why? Why? Come on, let me just do it. Okay, thank you. I do not like the Roblox terrain tools. I can't express how much I don't like them. I'm gonna make my own version out of spite at some point. Okay. Yes, sorry about that, Joy. You never know when I might accidentally be entertaining. Strikes at unexpected moments. What's the blue at the statue? It's gonna be water. It'll make more sense when there's like ripples and stuff in it, and then maybe like a fountain or things around it. But yeah, no, it's supposed to be water. Yep. Maybe I should make it a little bit more, you know, a little bit lighter. Welcome, welcome, Phantom. Earthbending fights would be cool. Um, did you know me and Ryan or Rhyperion? We actually both were Superhero Light 4 was originally an Avatar element battle inspired game, and it just kind of evolved from that. Just because we kept on adding ideas that were like, okay, this would be really cool, and then next thing you know, we'd accidentally designed the first version of the game. But yeah, that was fun. Simple times, simple times. Tree. Okay. Okay, so let's add this one. Oh, okay. The trees don't match the grass. Yeah, they don't. It's annoying. I'm going to go through and fix the texture eventually because they're going to have to handle weather as well. Like, making snow work is easier. These are going to be some polygon dense trees. Let's check that out. Uh, okay, that's going to be rough. We're going to have to do some level of detail stuff with these trees. But yeah, the so that's have you ever looked at the camera? Yes, on occasion. Um, the let's see. I don't know if it'd be hard, but add weather change to change. Oh yeah, no, I want to have the weather kind of roll about and the seasons too. Um, mhm. I think let's move these in a little bit. Okay. I'm tired. Yeah, no, this is a real Deadpool moment. Let's see. Hey there, Silent Sparrow. Oh yeah, no, I think having those kind of like energy shields and stuff would be pretty fun. I think we have something similar to that in Superhero Life too. So being able to take that and sort of rebrand it a little bit more and like make it. I want people to be able to customize their powers a lot more in the remake for sure. I think that that is something that we didn't go far enough on in the first one. Okay, so let's see. We got to go down with this one. Okay, nice. Yeah, the parks there can be a graveyard. I'm not opposed to having like like an old church or well not church. I don't want to. The problem with adding a church in a Roblox game is the people who like churches will get in fights with people who don't like churches, and then they will do a cringy mix of Reddit atheism and full on Lord Strongest Soldier type things. And so I just want to avoid that if possible. Um, what happened while you're gone? Oh, we just placed some trees mostly. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, yeah, we, yeah, no, Captain Cool Guy. Honestly, it'd be kind of interesting if there was like a cult around him after the big disaster. Um, yeah, yeah, no, it's like I'm not against people making weird cults. I'm just against people making real life weird cults, Because a Roblox cult, that's fun. It's like a cult in a TV show. It's the difference between like that Mob Psycho 100 smiling cult and like Scientology, It's you just want to Yeah, cults are fun. Real life ones, not so much. Okay, so let's actually paint a. Okay, so how should we best how should we best even do this? So view, terrain editor, paint. Okay, we're gonna paint mud. All right, so let's see what's a good. Does that look? It's okay. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. Hi, beautiful handwriting as always. Too big? Yeah. Question is, should we make it seem like an artificial one or a natural one? Because realistically, since this entire island is arguably artificial, um, like as in like within the lore, it's artificial. Um, I don't know. But at the same time, like we obviously have nature in it. So okay, so let's try what it looks like with a I don't know, guys. I think it might look better as a circle. But let's make it like a perfect circle, Just that actually doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna move it a little bit this way. Should I line it up with the thing? What was the original one shaped like? It was just kind of a bean. Okay. I think okay, I've made my decision. We're gonna go return to bean. Okay, so the question is how do we make that not look like garbage? Almost got it, I think. Okay. Okay. This works well enough for me. Does everyone like this one? Is everyone okay with this idea? Yeah. An interesting point, the gaming zone. Vehement, I like that idea, but it's got to be post Calamathon. This is a pre-Calamathon city. Yeah, okay. Looks good. Okay, everyone seems to be in agreement. Awesome. So now let's go through and actually, finish removing all that stuff. So now, what is this? Is that dirt? Okay, so yeah, I think that should be pretty good. Now we have to flatten it. Um, well, we have to smooth it out, I think. We have to do a few things. Feels like I'm like smoothing out a bed sheet or something. You have water powers and you can make yourself go underneath the water base. Um, I'm definitely, I'm torn on when it comes because I think water is an opportunity to do some cool stuff for like people who do spec into water powers. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want to. What's the phrase? I don't want it to become a. I don't want it to be something that just takes up a lot of time because only Sony players will have water powers, and so if I make it a huge thing, that I feel that'll backfire. Yeah, because then I could have like done 5 or 6 other things with that amount of time. Okay, I genuinely hate the. Okay, so let's try 30. Okay. Ugh. Why is it not removing it? You know? Okay, so let's go with 30. Where'd that plane go? There it is. Okay, so let's subtract. Okay, so how about now? Yay, it kind of works. Except not really. Oh, that's sad. Okay, so I think I figured out what the issue is though. Let's see. What's up? Hey there, Yamas. How's it going? Um, I mean, well, the thing is just there's only so much time to do things, and so you have to. A lot of game development isn't just deciding what's a cool idea; it's prioritizing it against other cool ideas. I think Superhero Life 4's original design document is what you get when you don't do a good job at that. Because every idea in the document is cool, but it's not necessarily reasonable. Like just a lot of stuff that just would take too much time to make. All right, here we go. All right, so now we just, take this flat zone. Okay, it was actually um, nice. Okay, so here's the lake. So how do I add? So I'm just going to add a little bit over here. 3. Uh, Auto material. No, that was too much. All right, center. Okay, that works. That works okay. Oh, that part didn't look good. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to erode something a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger. We just want to make it sort of, not look as artificial. I'm not opposed to having a miniature cliff. That'd be pretty cool. Something like this, just jump in. I think that'd be pretty cool. So I think now let us get some lake water. Thank goodness it's the weekend, because I think I might actually be sick. You got that weariness, that achiness and like that headache, stomach ache. Okay, that'd make a lot of sense. Huh. Well, I will probably be better on Monday. Let's see. Thankfully, my job. That's the thing. I feel like being sick as an adult is kind of lame because when you're sick as a kid, it's like, haha, I don't have to go to school, don't do that stuff. I work from home now. Staying home is the normal, and I still have to get the work done for the most part. You know. Um, yeah. So hot take: being sick is bad, actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. I know. Controversial. Yeah. So let's lock that. Yeah. No, I completely agree with you, Joy. We should make it a simple version for the start. Giannis, let's see, make it a creator caused by red rage. That'd be funny. That'd be funny. But yeah, I would love to add like crater support to some extent. Like just it would heal over time, but I would love to have that kind of functionality. What if one side had a miniature cliff that could be used as stone? Okay, I already answered that to me. But when you get the mail, I went to get the mail. Will we ever be able to swim in the water? Maybe. I don't know. I understand the way that I do water right now is not good enough. It feels bad, but I don't want to add like water support to every single player mechanic off outright. I think it'll be something I might add over time, but like it's just going to be such a low priority for the most part. It's okay, so mud. Okay, let's try it. 3. Let's see. The yeah, no. hmm yeah, sorry. No, no, no mermaids. This game is not mermaid accessible. Though in fairness, I think aren't there like a lot of like government benefits you get by making your place wheelchair accessible? Or is it just you don't go to jail? But maybe it's the right way to do something like that. I'm not the government. I don't know. Yeah, when the government gives me money to make my game not wheelchair. I actually do want to add wheelchairs and stuff. I think that'd be pretty fun. You know, cool and fun mixed together does not sound like a fun word. The Yeah, I think that from adding wheelchairs to this game just makes sense from there are a lot of cool characters in comics from uh, Batwoman when she's in the wheelchair, Professor X. Um, it's bad that I stopped it too. I know. I just can't think of it anymore. I'm sorry. I'm tired, but I know there are more, and I think it's cool. You know, I think that, and of course, there are people who are in wheelchairs in real life who just enjoy the representation. So I see it as a win-win. Honestly, I'll be honest. I would prefer to add wheelchair support before swimming support, because to me, wheelchair support's like okay, like there's a lot of like cool opportunities for how we could use this. Whereas swimming, it's like nobody likes water levels in video games, you know? Like it's just kind of I think that in terms of like usage of developer time, adding that kind of accessibility and representation just makes more sense. And also, people feel better about it. Yeah. What do y'all think? Oh wait, Batwoman. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I I I goofed. Yes, Batwoman is a different character. I do know that. Was the Batwoman TV show good? I heard some people say like, "Ah, it was amazing. They should never cancel it." And then I heard some people say, it is just another garbage CW show. So I don't really know. That's the problem. Like, it is very hard to tell if a show with, you know, a woman as a lead is good because whenever someone says it's bad, you don't know if they disliked it or if they're just, a bad person. So it's tough. It's tough to navigate. Come on, let me paint it. Okay. It was kind of bad. Ah, okay. CW did not do a good job with the Batman lore. I think they did an all right job with Superman. Seems like every time they did anything with Batman, it was just kind of. I think Gotham might be an exception. I remember enjoying parts of it, but I don't know. There's something about the CW shows that's just like theater kid core or something, where it feels like everyone's trying a bit too hard, and so it's like it's a bit over the top as a result. And I think that sometimes works against it. Sometimes it can be fun, but sometimes not. Okay, let's try this. Let's try painting it this way. Oh, Gotham wasn't CW? Okay, well that explains why it felt so different. Okay. Yeah, they had a good Bruce Wayne cast for Batwoman in my opinion, but they only used him for like 2 episodes. Doesn't he die in it? Or is that a different show? I'm pretty sure there's one where Batman dies, right? And didn't everyone hate that one? Eh, I don't know. Whenever they do like a big change to a character's uh, gender, and for what it's worth, I think Spider-Man probably fits more as bi, you know? Like, dude dude made his own like custom spider outfit. You know, like I I I think that the idea of Spider-Man being gay is not does not shock me. Um, but no, I think just do a good job with it. You know, don't just make it sort of a like, oh, it's Spider-Man but gay. Like actually like explore it a bit. You know, wonder though, will they make Mary Jane a guy or will they introduce a new love interest? That could be interesting. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I honestly I think that makes sense for the most part. Like the it just kind of reminds me of how people are like Spider-Man can be black. Yeah, it's a fictional character. You can do what you want. And I think that Miles Morales, I think that was a really good interpretation in the Spider-Verse movies. Honestly, maybe this will be controversial, but I kind of like Miles Morales more than Peter Parker. I think he's more fun. I think that the especially in Spider-Verse, I think that just seemed like more of a fun character. Um, but maybe just we haven't just seen a good as good of a Spider-Man representation with Peter Parker in a while. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it's not so much like any one decision. Just make it good. Like it's kind of like with here's a version which nobody had a problem with because everyone was comfortable with their views on it. When they made a Star Wars anime, y'all remember that they made a Star Wars anime of all these little shorts. And for the most part, that was really cool. Because I think it's not so much about like what you do; it's did it work? And I think that you could make it work with a lot of like changes to a character. You just gotta put in the effort. Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Spider-Man and MJ, do they? It's kind of funny how little I feel like they actually end up dating and and stuff. I like the fact that like the amazing Spider-Man series didn't even introduce an MJ. I don't think. Kind of speaks to that. Paul. Yeah, I think I enjoyed Gwen Stacy in the Amazing Spider-Man series and the Spectacular Spider-Man. TV show. I think that those are both good manifestations. Honestly, to this day, I want to see the Spectacular Spider-Man get like an X-Men, was it 96 or 89 or something? I want to see an X-Men like style reboot for the Spectacular Spider-Man because I think that was the best like past 15, 20 years Spider-Man TV show. Yeah, no, if y'all haven't seen it, I highly recommend. Savage, Yamas, savage. No, I mean for what it's worth, I can say that I feel like a lot of characters get more boring once they're single. You know, it's just fun to ship people. It's fun. It's just a fun thing to talk about. You know. This is looking pretty good. Invincible was amazing. I really liked Invincible. Yeah, no, that genuinely might be one of my favorite superhero media of all time. And I haven't read the comics, but I know it goes into pretty crazy directions. So I'm excited. I hope the TV show gets that opportunity. Yeah. It feels like such like an intelligent show, I think, compared to the other ones. It feels like the Invincible is it was written by someone who loves superheroes and wants to see what they would look like if taken a bit more seriously. Whereas something like The Boys, it's just clear they hate superheroes, you know? Um, be honest, is that true? They could have made a 45-minute show and they didn't? What the heck? Honestly, Sony is the worst company. Does anybody like Sony? Like I know that like Disney also sucks and like all these other brands suck, but there's something about Sony which just feels more like they care about money and nothing else. Like Disney cares about money too, but it feels a little bit more like the people who work there also want to make something cool. Sony, it feels like they just buy up creative people and like either like there's the Sony A team which will make a really the animated Sony stuff is good. Animated Sony is good. That's but like live action stuff, it just feels like the most I hated Venom. I and Morbius and just like every single one of these Sony live action superhero things just feels like the most. decade out of date, bought bare minimum thing. Yeah. I like the PlayStation exclusives, uh, but I feel like that's more reflecting of the developers they go into contracts with. I think Sony is okay at recognizing value. They're just not good at producing it. I don't know. I don't like Sony. It's probably irrational. I should probably hate other companies more, but I think for Sony, it's just so clearly like, wow, these people are messing up um, this stuff. But hey, but of course, Sony, if you're hearing this and you were about to let me use Spider-Man in Superhero Life, I'm kidding. I was just making a joke in Minecraft. Please let me use Spider-Man. Um, but no, I don't know. Just give me, okay, either let me use Spider-Man in Superhero Life or give me the spectacular Spider-Man 40-minute reboot. Okay? We can negotiate. I don't know. Just telling you, man, everyone who says woke on the internet is probably not a person you want to associate with. I can tell you a lot of that stuff, it's cringe. I'm not saying that there aren't ridiculous examples of, people trying to, like, remember the Google AI that was like making, was like adding diversity in areas where diversity would not necessarily make anyone happier. But like beyond that, I think for the most part, people just like making things for other people. Like I don't think it takes away from a movie if that person's a woman. Like call me, super progressive, but that just seems, I feel like I'm going crazy that I even have to say that, Just everyone should be, yeah, yeah, no, I did. Yeah, and I didn't really care much for Incredibles 2, looking back, but still it was a very cool experience just to be able to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think movies are really getting woke. I think they're just, movies and people project onto them a lot of stuff. Yeah, and usually not the best stuff. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, Eric. So Sony was like had like the helicopter was landing on the apartment. Yeah, yeah, no, the Incredibles event was very nice. That's the thing. Like I like superheroes. And so if a superhero company comes up and says, "Hey, would you like to market this?" and it looks, good. For what it's worth, I had not seen the Incredibles 2 movie before I marketed it. I thought it would be amazing when I marketed it. And I don't think it was bad enough to like take down the advertisements, Like it was just the problem with the Incredibles 2 movie is the villain, really. I think that's most of it. The villain and also the new hero designs were lame. Beyond that though, like some of the more like family drama stuff, that was fine. What I think they they did not appreciate how important a villain is and just did that sort of generic swap, like switch up that every single 2010s animation movie did. It happened in Big Hero 6, it happened in Frozen, it happens all the time, and it's exhausting. Nobody in that decade wanted to have a villain, and it was tiring. And I think it suffered from that. But no, like honestly, that's the thing. Like if Disney came to me now and said, "Hey, would you market Incredibles 2 right now?" I'd say yeah, because then I can add Incredibles assets to the game, Like you could dress up as Syndrome. You could dress up as all these cool characters. You could incorporate. You could see like, okay, what happened if Syndrome came back as a robot? And you could make that character. Like to me, the second a company gives me the right to actually mess with like and integrate character stuff into, you know, superhero life, I want to go all for it. Yeah, the thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think the park's turning out okay. Um, yeah, but I think we're pretty much that's about it for the night. Okay, but yeah, I so I guess to summarize for today, let's see, parks and terrain are hard to make. Uh, you can rotate trees. Anyone who says something's woke probably shouldn't be trusted. And I hate Sony. Please, Sony, give me money to do superhero stuff in this game. Yeah. So I think productive stream, everybody. Wouldn't have had it any other way until I deal with the consequences to my actions. Um, yeah, I think, but no, I think the game's coming along pretty well, though. I let's see. I wanna add like actual like water physics at some point, you know? Like I think that could be pretty good. Like just to have like a splash or something, just like like when you hit the water. Let's do a quick little let's see how this feels at a person scale. Okay, ignore all of those. Close that. Close that. I'm gonna load up Atmos for a second. Let's get something nice. There we go. There we go. And then let's also test server. Run that. All right, all those are loading in. So peaceful. Now, let's see what I'm gonna change the selection. Let's see what are some other good ones that we could use. Apply. This one's nice. I like this. This feels cozy. Let's see what other ones. Let's do South African sunset. Quality. Oh, I love that. All the purples and oranges. We need to finish more of these buildings because I think the skyline's really important. But yeah, you can imagine like a ship horn in the distance. Yeah, the yeah, no, I think this is going to be pretty good. I wish there was a way to interpolate between skyboxes on Roblox. I think that would be very nice. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good too. Let's see, what happens if I just apply without lighting? You know? Okay, applying without lighting still looks pretty good. Um, mhm. Yeah, that's because it kept the old cool lighting. But yeah, it's let's see, do you think I made this cane glide false? I did. Swimming! Yay! Guys, we added swimming. It's just like being in real water. But no, I think this is looking pretty good. I can't express enough how much I love the Syndicorp towers. It's a little bit mix of being a little bit of pride from my home, with just liking the brutalist evil nature of it, and also the fact that I'm not sure how I feel about the news tower. That one's gonna cause me pain for a while. But yeah, that's about it, y'all. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, I think we made some cool stuff. I will see y'all on Monday, and until then, have a good weekend. Thank you for stopping by, And yeah, see ya.